we'll get started with a couple of things with AMC. We'll get into our stories for the day, and then after that, at the end of the video, we're going to go back to AMC, and you guys will see what's going on with AMC, GameStop, and everything over there. So let's start off with AMC's price, because AMC's price has been actually doing pretty well this morning. We saw it yesterday evening, up after hours, and then today it's doing the same thing pre-market. So right now AMC's price is sitting right around $58.12 pre-market. Pretty exciting, because the last couple days we have seen AMC continue to bounce back. We saw it go all the way up to $72 per share. Then it did drop. It dropped as low as about 35, but now we're seeing it start to climb back, and we're starting to push that $60 per share range again. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm seeing a couple questions in the chat. Let's look at those. How long are you going to stream for? We'll see how long the stream will go for. Normally I'm going to cover a couple stories, and then I'll end it so I can post some other videos on the other channels. But today I think we might go a bit longer, because I do want to talk about AMC, GameStop, everything going on there. But okay, so AMC right now is at $55 per share. Pre-market, it has risen all the way up to $58 per share. We're getting a lot of questions as to what's going on with the short interest, what's going on with the price, what's going on with the SEC. So right now the short interest is at 20%. The short volume ratio is at 20%. This is up a bit from where we saw it just yesterday and the day before, and last weekend. Because at the end of the last week, we saw it drop as low as about 18%, but really it's been fluctuating right between 18 and 20% for the short volume ratio. So that is pretty good, because now we're still seeing that the short squeeze has not yet taken place, because when the short squeeze takes place, it's going to be when the short interest basically gets cut dramatically overnight, and we're not seeing that happen yet. We're still seeing the short interest remain very high. We're still seeing the volume remain very high for the number of shares traded for AMC. So everything is still lining up for AMC to see a massive push upwards towards the $100, even higher than that range within the next couple of days. The SEC came out yesterday, and they were not happy. We spoke about this briefly in a video yesterday, I believe yesterday afternoon, and the SEC said they're monitoring the ongoing volatility in certain stocks, particularly all of the meme stocks, and they say it's to protect retail investors. But a lot of people weren't happy about this. I saw in our video yesterday, a lot of people were saying, SEC shouldn't step in. They shouldn't get involved. They should just let people do whatever they want, buy, sell, trade any stocks they want. It doesn't matter if they're very volatile, because a lot of people are looking for these more volatile stocks as it is. They're looking for these AMCs, for these GameStops. What's going to be the next short squeeze stock? And people are looking for those in particular. So that's something just to keep in mind, something that I was considering, because while the SEC is trying to protect investors, they're saying they're trying to limit, protect against market manipulation, protect against people losing a lot of money by investing into a volatile stock that could go up 50%, down 50% in a matter of just a couple of hours. While they are trying to protect people, it actually is the exact opposite of what this whole movement, what the whole push has recently been about, because people do not want to see any regulations put in place on what they can buy and what they could sell, whether it's with crypto, whether it's with stocks. People want to be able to buy and sell anything, any stock, any crypto they want. They don't want to have restrictions on how many shares they can buy. They don't want restrictions on, what is going on, because that defeats the whole purpose. Everyone says the stock market is supposed to be just a place where you can invest in any company you want. Doesn't matter if it's not a great company fundamentally, because people are still making a lot of money with what is going on with AMC, GameStop, Dogecoin, and all these other assets, even though on paper institutions might say, look, they're not the most fundamentally sound companies, the most fundamentally sound investments. People still want to be able to put money wherever they want to put it. In addition to this, read this article about AMC. They're talking about how it's messing with corporate theory, because right now with with the stock market, the way it's always been is that the obvious reason for a company to exist is to benefit its shareholders. And really, what AMC has been doing lately, they're issuing millions and millions of more shares. They're selling more shares, and that's not always in the best interest of shareholders. It's diluting existing shareholders, their positions. It's adding tens of millions of more shares into circulation. So people are talking about how this isn't necessarily what's best for shareholders. But in reality, when we're looking at AMC stock right now, what's going on is that they need the money. They need the money to continue running their business long term. So even though we are seeing a short squeeze, even though it's retail investors versus institutions, long term, the only way they can stay around, the only way they can succeed long term is if they do have some extra capital. They do have some extra capital on hand to be able to pay down debt, to be able to pay for the rentals they have with theater spaces, to pay with everything going on with the company. So recently, within the last week or so, they've raised about $800 million in just by issuing new shares. They issued about, I believe they sold 8.5 million shares to Mudrick Capital, and then they sold another 11 million shares a couple days later. So the total was around $800 million, $817 million. And so that is just something that people are keeping an eye out, because some people are saying it's dilution. They're just diluting the shares. Other people are saying it's necessary for the company. What I think it is necessary for the company long term. And as we're seeing, this isn't really affecting the price of AMC. It hasn't affected it at all, because every time they're issuing new shares, the price just continues to rise and continues to go up. If you guys are new here, make sure to like the stream, put a comment down below. Let me know what time it is where you guys are. Is it the morning? Is it the evening? Let's get this chat going a bit. I want to make sure to answer all of your guys' questions. But we're going to get back to AMC in a minute. There are just a couple more stories that I do want to go over before we get back into AMC and GameStop. So make sure to stick around, but let's go into these other stories. First of all, crypto market is down about 10.58% today, down big time. Bitcoin's down 10.5%, Ethereum's down 12%, Binance Coin down 13%. All of the top 10 cryptos are down over 10% today. It is really just looking like a bloodbath. Things are not looking so great. But what has been going on in crypto is yesterday, the U.S. actually recovered $2.3 million in Bitcoin paid in the Colonial Pipeline ransom. This was the big news in crypto just the other day, because U.S. law enforcement officers said that they were able to recover $2.3 million in Bitcoin that was paid to a criminal cyber group. And this is important because there's not many times that we've seen law enforcement be able to successfully recover money that was done in sort of involving Bitcoin, when there's some sort of criminal activities involved. And they said, according to Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, she said, today we turned the table on dark side. She said, using law enforcement authority, victim funds were seized from the wallet, preventing dark side actors from using them. And they didn't explain exactly how they were able to get the money, but typically what happens is when the FBI steps in, they are able to recover funds. It's when these criminal organizations have some business that was done in the U.S. They explain in the article how usually what happens is, usually what happens is that they have to have something based in the U.S. And that is where the U.S. FBI has legal authority to step in and has the ability to step in and get the funds, get involved. Either way, though, you got to remember with Bitcoin, with crypto, the thing to keep in mind is that if people don't willingly give up their wallet addresses, there's no way for law enforcement to really be able to access it, because people could just say, oh, look, I forgot the passcode to get into the account, and there's really nothing someone else can do. At least at this moment in time, there's nothing they can really do. But this was a big step in the right direction for for regulators really and the US, because people are always concerned about illegal activities using Bitcoin, using crypto. And now if we can figure out ways to prevent these illegal activities from happening, it could make regulators more excited, more likely to actually allow for Bitcoin ETFs, allow for crypto to be used more broadly and be more broadly accepted, because that's been one of the major concerns of regulators recently. Next up, let's talk about the president of El Salvador said that he's submitting a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in the country. El Salvador has been struggling economically for a while, but this is a really big announcement because they would be the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender in their country, mean essentially almost like replacing their currency. And this is a big deal. So right now in El Salvador, they would be the first nation to adopt a Bitcoin standard. Right now they are on basically the US dollar. A lot of times what happens with these developing nations is if they're struggling, if they don't trust their own policies, their own government to be able to keep currency, prevent like hyperinflation, things like that. A lot of times they do go on to the dollar because that is seen as the reserve currency of the world. So they are doing this. A lot of people are saying that this could be a good thing for them, and there's some other people are saying it's a bad thing. The positives for this is that they're not going to be relying on the U.S. government and what people are doing in the U.S., in Washington, D.C., that could potentially hurt the economy. Because right now, any regulations, anything's passed right now could lead to more inflation with the U.S. dollar, could potentially hurt other economies. So they're saying by making Bitcoin legal tender, they're essentially saying, look, we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket with the U.S. We're basically saying that we know that all of the economic policies for Bitcoin, there's only a limited number of Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin are ever going to be in existence. And we're not even going to reach that number of 21 million Bitcoin for about 100 years. So it's a very stable thing for a country like El Salvador to do, because they know the policies of Bitcoin moving forward. They're not changing, nothing's happening. On the other hand, the US, things could change that could negatively affect or positively impact the economy. So this was the big news the other day, because they would be the first country ever to make Bitcoin legal tender, and they said this could be a move in the right direction for other countries down the road for wider adoption of crypto, wider adoption of Bitcoin and other major cryptos. So we'll see what happens there, how that develops, but it is a pretty exciting thing to see a country submit a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender. Now on to STEM Inc. I do want to talk about this stock because it has been killing it over the last month, up 76%. And I want to talk about this because this is one of my favorite stocks, a stock that we have spoken about for a while on this channel. And it is exciting because ever since we reached a low of about $16 per share, the stock price has gone more than doubled from May 13th, just a couple of weeks ago. And people were concerned about this stock a while back. I've talked about it ever since January, almost late December of 2020. The price rose as high as it was at like $53 per share at one point. And many people have been, not too excited about it, not talking about it, because the price has dropped at one point as low as $16. So from 50 to 16, people were not too happy about it. But recently they've come out with a lot of great news between major partnerships and collaborations with Amerisco, also major announcements with their Q1 earnings of this year. So they've had a lot going on for them. For those of you who don't know, STEM Inc. is a pure play energy storage company. They have a proprietary technology called Athena. This is an AI software that is able to maximize energy usage but minimize the costs of it. So if you think there's going to be sustainable energy sources used long term, well then STEM Inc. is a great play, because essentially what it does is it tells the system when's the best time, the most efficient time to use battery-powered energy versus when's the best time to use solar energy versus when to use grid energy. It maximizes how much energy can be used, but minimizing the costs of it. So for any company, any business that's looking to transition to be more of a green energy company, use more solar panels, use wind energy, there has to be a way to store that energy. Because, for example, solar, if you can't store it, it's only good at that very moment. What about at night? What about other times when the sun isn't out? So for solar, for example, with Athena's technology, it'll help store it and then use it at specific times during the day. That would maximize how long it can last, minimize the cost. So I really like Stem. They are the largest pure play energy storage company in the US. They have a lot of their business done right now in California, but they are expanding elsewhere. Just wanted to do a quick update on this because they did come out with their Q1 earnings. They did much better than expected. They've had a couple of new partnerships lately, and the stock price has been doing extremely, extremely well. Now let's talk about Apple. Apple, this is a bit of tech news, but they are building video and music sharing into FaceTime. And this is something that I found very exciting because I was looking into this. They had their announcement just the other day. And the way it's going to work is when you're FaceTiming someone, they are redesigning that whole entire experience. The two features that are the most exciting are what is called using SharePlay. SharePlay is going to allow people to watch or listen content in sync with everyone else they're FaceTiming, and it can be things like TikTok, it can be things like Disney Plus, Hulu, Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus. One thing that is missing from this list, though, which is a pretty obvious thing, pretty glaring thing that is missing, is Netflix. Netflix does not appear to be on this list of things that will be able to be connected using SharePlay. So that is, we'll see how this develops, but my opinion, Netflix would have been a major addition, would have been something people would have wanted to see with this, because then it's like, well, watching, most people have Netflix, and being able to share Netflix, watch it in real time with someone over FaceTime. It's like a watch party, like the feature on Facebook. So it is something that is notably missing from this, but it is a very exciting feature that they are adding. You can see in the pictures right here, they have a bit of a screen. You can see the movie in the background, the person you're FaceTiming in the bottom right. They are redesigning the entire experience for FaceTime, making it more like a Zoom experience, but this is something that is very exciting. We should see this within the next month or so, and I'll keep you guys updated on what is going on there. Next up, I did talk about this in yesterday's live stream, but I want to mention it quickly again, and that is that Elon Musk says Tesla Model S Plaid Plus has been officially canceled. He announced this on Twitter the other day, and this is a big deal because a lot of people were looking forward to this. This is going to be the fastest Tesla ever produced. This is going to be, one of the most expensive models, and it was supposed to go from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, and now they've just canceled it. According to CNET, they have officially taken it off of their website, no longer available to be added, this option. According to Elon Musk, he said the Tesla Model S Plaid will be good enough. They won't even need to have the Model S Plaid Plus, because Model S Plaid will be able to really do a lot of things that people have never seen before with a car. He says it feels like a spaceship. Words cannot describe what is going on with this car, and once people see it within the next couple days when it is announced, that should be something that is very, very exciting. People are going to be looking forward to this. Recently, the company did remove radar sensors and lumbar support from the front passenger seats in the lower price models like the Model 3 sedan, Model Y crossover, and they've been making some big changes, but we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. The main difference between the Model S Plaid Plus and the Model S Plaid is that the Model S Plaid had a little bit shorter range, had a little bit less horsepower. But other than that, they were very similar. So with this just standard Model S Plaid, we're going to see right around 1,100 horsepower. We're going to see right around 390 mile range for battery range, and it's still going to go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, not the under 2 seconds. So we'll see what happens here. Are people going to be missing out, or are people going to be excited enough with just this Model S Plaid? And finally, before we get back into what is going on with AMC and GameStop, I want to go over Jeff Bezos. I did talk about this yesterday a bit, but Jeff Bezos will be flying on the first passenger space flight of his company Blue Origin on July 20th. This is the 52nd anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, and this is something that a lot of people were pretty surprised about, that Jeff Bezos had come out and said that he's going to be taking the first flight, the first passenger flight into space for his company. Some people think this is dangerous. Some people think this isn't a great idea, but it shows how much he really believes in what is going on with Blue Origin, what they're doing behind the scenes. And this is a video that he posted on his Instagram where he explained how he actually asked his brother to join him, and his brother agreed. So let's pull that up.
See the Earth from space, it changes you. It changes
and let me know if the volume is okay on that.
With humanity.
Let's pull that up on Instagram. Can you guys hear this okay?
You see the Earth from space, it changes.
Let me know in the chat. Can you guys hear that okay? Because I don't want to play it if you guys can't hear it.
You see the Earth from space, it changes you. It changes your relationship with this planet, with humanity. It's one Earth. I want to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends. I really want you to come with me. Would you? Are you serious? I am. I think it would be meaningful. Have my brother there.
I wasn't even expecting him to say that he was going to be on the first flight. And then when he asked me to go along, I was just awestruck.
Seriously? If you're willing, if you want to.
God.
Yeah.
What a remarkable opportunity, not only to have this adventure, but to be able to do it with my best friend.
I love you. I love you too.
So that was pretty exciting that Jeff Bezos is going up into space with Blue Origin with his brother. He is resigning as CEO, stepping down on July 5th. Just in a couple of weeks. This has been known for a while now, so this flight will be coming after he has officially stepped down from CEO of Amazon. It's going to come on July 20th, and he's stepping down on July 5th. So we'll see what happens, how that plays out. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully everyone's safe. Obviously they believe in it. Obviously they trust what is going on, but we will see what continues to play out with Blue Origin, more passenger space flights in the future, but this was something that was very, very exciting. Okay, 9:27 a.m. Eastern time, getting into the market open. AMC's price is up 5% right now, up 5%. Let's see, let's go into dark mode. They are up 5% pre-market. We're going to get back into what is going on with AMC, GameStop. If you guys are new here, we just covered a bunch of different topics from what is going on with cryptocurrency, the market down. We talked about El Salvador with Bitcoin, making it a legal currency. We talked about Apple, new features on their FaceTiming, and we also talked about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. So if you guys are new here, you can always rewind it, check that out. I'll also be posting clips on the Clips channel, but please be sure to like this stream. Let's see if we can get this up to 100 likes. It really helps me out a lot. YouTube does not usually push out these videos on AMC and GameStop, so that would really help out a lot. Let's check the chat out. We're gonna keep the price in the background. You want to go to space? I mean, yeah, I feel like a lot of people do. They are auctioning off tickets, but they're gonna go for probably tens of millions of dollars because people want to go with Jeff Bezos and Mark Bezos. So we're at 23 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 100. Because right now, AMC's price is actually doing very well this morning. I'm going to keep this on the screen. I've been seeing a lot of people do like live streams for a couple of hours just talking about AMC, what's going on. So we'll keep it on for a bit depending on if you guys like this, if you guys want to continue to be on the stream. But let me know, do any of you guys own AMC or GameStop right now? Do you own it? Are you part of it? What is going on? Also, if you guys are new, you can get where this platform is right now. This is Wrubel, so I put a link to that in the top of the description. And if you want to follow me, see what stocks I'm buying and selling, it's not a Patreon. It's not like you need to pay for it. It's called public investing. I post what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what I'm looking at, all in there. So if you guys want to see what I'm currently looking at, you could always check that out on public investing. Let me throw a link to that in the video so you guys can see what is going on. Let me put a link. Free stock. Market just opened though. Let's take a look at this. Market just opened. We're seeing AMC's price continue now to push up. It was up 5% pre-market. Now we're seeing it push towards that $60 per share range. This is exciting. Maybe we could see another push up today to potentially even get it to get it to that all-time high of $72 per share. So this is where you could follow me to see what I'm buying, what I'm selling. It's completely free. It's not sponsored. You could check out that link. Follow me for free. Right now, we are seeing AMC's price push up in the pre-market. I mean, right at the market open. Pre-market, we saw it up 5%. Now we are seeing a push up even higher. This is a great sign because we are seeing a lot of the meme stocks up pretty significantly today. GameStop right now, let's take a look at that. GameStop is up 4%. Let's check out Workhorse. Workhorse is up 11%. Which other ones? BlackBerry. BlackBerry's up 5% all across the board. We are seeing all of these stocks up significantly. Bed Bath & Beyond up 3%. Any others that we're missing? AMC, GameStop, Workhorse, BlackBerry, Bed Bath & Beyond. You can see all in the green. Crypto is down today. So I feel like some people who are looking for big gains may be moving some money over from what's going on with crypto, moving it over to some of these meme stocks. But yeah, so we are seeing AMC's price continue to rise. We may cut off this stream in a bit because looking at the analytics, YouTube sent out 0 notifications to people. So I might start a new stream and maybe they'll notify people when we start the new stream. But we will see what goes on. We'll see what happens. Let's look. Clover Health, Wendy's. Oh, right, Clover Health. We haven't spoken about that one in a while. Clover Health investment. Oh, Clover Health is up 52%. Wow. Wow. That is CL. I'll change that in the title. CLOV. That is up the most today out of all stocks. Clover Health. Out of all the meme stocks, that is up by far. We're seeing AMC up 5%. Everything else is up between 5 and 10% across the board. But Clover Health, which does have a massive short interest, is up 50% right now. The short interest on Clover Health, let's take a look at that. The short interest on Clover Health right now is sitting at 32%. So that is higher than what it is for AMC. That's higher than what it is for GameStop. That's higher than what it is for most other meme stocks right now. We are seeing it higher. So that is something. That is something we want to keep an eye out on. Because Clover Health has been like under the radar for a lot. People have not been talking about this one as much. I have spoken about it in previous live streams, but that is something to keep an eye on. And it is one of the stocks with the highest short interest that I've seen in a while. But for you guys who are new here, thank you for joining us. We talked about a lot of different topics, from crypto, what's going on in the market, how it's down, to Apple, Elon Musk, well, who else? Jeff Bezos, El Salvador, how they are making Bitcoin a legal currency. So you could always rewind that, watch all those topics. I'll put timestamps in the video a bit later. Also, if you are new, please be sure to like this stream. We're at 30 likes. Let's see if we could get it up to 50. But right now on the screen, we do have the price of Clover Health on. This is doing the best out of all meme stocks. Out of all stocks right now, the volume for Clover Health is sitting at 76 million, and it's rising very quickly. You can see on the right side of the screen, it's at 76 million shares traded compared to AMC, which has 20 million. So yeah, it looks like the volume today is being put into Clover Health. I'm looking all across the board, guys, at GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, the volume today is in Clover Health. 77 million shares have been traded. That is where we're seeing the volume spike today. Not with AMC, not with GameStop, but with Clover Health. Volume's pushing up really quickly. In the last minute, it's already up 5 million more. You could see for Clover Health, we had that massive jump from yesterday where we closed to where we opened today. 80 million shares. Let's see, is there any news that's come out with Clover Health? Nope, nothing in particular. Everything we're seeing is that talk about Clover Health on Reddit has been increasing. It's becoming one of the more popular ones on Reddit. So let's pull that up. Jumps 50%. I also want to take a look at Google Trends. That's something I like to look at. Google Trends, because then you can see what's going on. Are people actively searching this stock? How can you gauge the community aspect of it? Because that's really important with a lot of these meme stocks, is to see how much people are searching, how much people are talking about it. And let's take a look. In the past 30 days, no, nothing looks... If we pull up this Google Trends, nothing looks particularly exciting about how much people are searching about it. Last 90 days, it's been pretty consistent. Nothing too exciting there. What about in the last day? Okay, last day we are seeing it increase pretty dramatically, and that's probably just due to the price increasing. So that's what's going on with Clover Health right now. But anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on this morning. I'm going to edit this video so we can take out the beginning and ending portions, but I will be going live every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure to always join me at 9 a.m. Even if YouTube doesn't notify us, make sure to just be aware. I will be going live every single morning at 9 a.m. But I hope you guys have a great day. We're going to be posting a couple more exciting videos in a bit, so make sure to watch those. But I hope you had a